So what actually exposes confidence? Well, I just read a book that claims to have the secrets to do just that. Let's go. As you've probably noticed on this channel, I've been doing a lot of book reviews, and the reason why is this year I decided I was going to make my life better. And what better way to do that than to read 50 books in the area of personal and professional development. And when I say read, I listen to all my books on Audible. If you're somebody that wants to do more reading and you're like, I just don't have the time or the effort or the energy to do it, try Audible out. It's super worked for me and I'm absolutely loving it. Right now I'm on pace to read over 100 books this year in the area of personal and professional development. With that said, I stumbled upon a book called The Confidence Gap. And what I thought would happen reading the book is I would hear a bunch of stuff that I've heard in the last books that I've heard, because these things do start to sound all alike. But to my very pleasant surprise, early in the book, the author starts to talk about the difference between what everybody else tells you is confidence, which is to tell yourself great things about yourself all the time. I guess there's a place for affirmations. I mean, I've used them a lot. But he also notes that a lot of times your negative thoughts seem to come back or stick around or never left to begin with. And he even shares a study that sometimes giving yourself an affirmation, there's actually another voice in your head that is telling you it's bullshit, telling you this isn't actually true, and it can be counterproductive. So once I got into the book, I decided I was going to take a different approach than I have in all the other books. I've read and listened to all the other books, made some notes, but didn't fully engage if there were activities and actions they wanted you to take. In this book, I was listening to it on the treadmill one day at the gym, and I just decided I'm gonna take this activity. I'm actually gonna go home, write it out, and what happened absolutely amazed me. So today, right now, we're driving down to Siesta Key Beach, to one of my favorite spots, and I'm gonna share with you what I wrote in this activity. And I got to be honest with you, as I'm driving there, I wanted to give a disclaimer because I'm a little embarrassed about what came out. And I've talked to a lot of my friends that are in my same age bracket and even in their late 30s, early 40s, but feeling like they're stuck in life, feeling like, you know, they've gotten to a point where they feel like they're doing all the right things. They're doing everything that people tell you you should do, but they don't feel fulfilled or they haven't had the success that they wanted. And I'm in that same boat. To be totally honest, I've had this secret in my mind that not only is my life not successful, but it's almost not even really been worthwhile, which is kind of sad to say out loud, but thoughts like that cross my mind. So we're going to sit down on the beach. I'm going to read you what I wrote down on the sheet of paper. I was absolutely blown away with the answers that came out, because I don't know about you, but I've always had canned answers when people ask, you know, how's things going? Great, fine, awesome. Yeah, I'm, moving in the right direction. I'm doing the right things. But the fact is, obviously something inside of me didn't really feel that way. And I want to make some improvements in my life. So the way I'm looking at my life right now, I've got half my life behind me, and that's behind me. What am I going to do with the next 25, 26 productive summers of my life? Had to make a quick Starbucks run. Blonde roast is going to help get my thoughts moving a little bit faster. Got to admit it.
We're always planning the access between water and air, grounded in flight, spinning my mind, contemplating how we got here. Oh, it's a waste of time.
You can probably see why I like coming to this spot.
My lover in the moonlight.
So here it is. I wrote it out, and it's actually funny. I'm looking at this list and I'm embarrassed that all this stuff was inside and I didn't even know it. In the book, basically what he says in the first introduction is, look, what would you do if, I could give you all the confidence in the world, but nothing in your life changed? That's a really interesting question, because I think there's one thing to feel super confident. I think we all know people that feel great about themselves. They feel great about life all the time, but they never really do anything. And I like feeling good. I feel good a lot of the time. Some of the times I do not. Some of the times, my mind can go depressed. But I love connecting the two, feeling good because I'm moving forward, because I'm making progress and doing good things. I wanted to make this video to get truthful and honest, because sometimes when I'm reading a script and I'm watching somebody else on YouTube or I'm listening to a speaker and they give me all the good stuff that's happening in their life, I'm happy for them, but it can disconnect me in a way, because I know life is more than that. Life can get messy. Life is real. It's a real thing, and stuff happens in all of our lives. I'm no exception to that. I don't take care of him, but I'm with him a lot. My 92-year-old father, who's got late stages dementia.
It's Sunday?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
He's in memory care, so I, see him a few times a week. I take him out a few times a week. We have a great time. But that, that adds a little stressor. I've got a big family. We love each other, but we're not always all on the same page. So stuff happens in life. I don't want to deny that on this channel. In fact, it's what I really want to get down to the core of. In the book, he says, if you're going to change your confidence, you might as well get some stuff along with it. And it's not just material things. It's one thing to feel motivated, and it's another thing to actually get shit done. He offers a list of questions, and here's the questions. What would I do differently if I had more confidence? In a world where you had unlimited confidence, what would you do differently? As I develop genuine confidence, I would like these changes to happen in my life. Here are some actions that I will also take to improve my life. So again, like I said, it's one thing to read it. It's another thing to actually sit down and do the work. And I sat down and did the work, and here's some of my answers. So what would you do differently if you had more confidence? Well, the first thing I listed, which was a total surprise to me, I would speak to more women I find attractive and possibly find a person that I truly have connection with. Truthfully, I was one of those people who felt married to my career, and I just brushed my relationship life to the side, always thinking I'd have more time. And now I'm 50 and I'm fine. I got a lot of years left, but I think I'm starting to realize that it would be nice to share that, with somebody. And in all honesty, I've just completely shut that part of myself off. So I want to change that. Number two is I would connect with more people in general, even from a professional sense as well as social. So sometimes I can get into a box and not, make connections when I know I really should be. I would go outside on more outside sales visits. This is something that I've been struggling with in growing my new businesses. I know that I could walk into more businesses, and I do it sometimes, but not nearly as much as I should. What I'm also trying to do at the same time is become a master online marketer for some of the services that I offer as far as video and other things. Number four, this was a surprise to me. I would go to the doctor. I'm just one of those people who never goes to the doctors. And I think maybe I should get a checkup every now and then. I don't really know. I would buy health insurance. So after I left corporate, my health insurance expired. I haven't really thought much about getting it, but I think I should. I would move out of my sister's house. So that's a funny one. When I moved back down to Florida, my sister invited me to stay. They had some stuff happen in which it's more convenient for me to be there. It's a big place. We all have our own space. But, I often think about, like, now that I'm going to be here permanently, I should really be grabbing my own spot. I would finish things that I start. I just find myself, generally speaking, starting a lot of stuff and sometimes not finishing things that I think are important. So that was question number one. Again, hearing that stuff come out of my mouth can be absolutely embarrassing, but it's all truthful. So in a world where you had unlimited confidence, how would you behave differently? Okay, so you asked a few questions here. How would you behave differently? How would you walk and talk differently? How would you play differently, work and perform differently? And how would you treat others differently as far as your friends, relatives, partners, children, all that stuff? Here's my answer. So how would you behave differently? I think I would get more extroverted in public. For a long time, I was a hairstylist. I owned a salon. There were a lot of people that worked in that salon. And so I think I thought I was an extrovert, but what I'm learning is I think I'm more introverted than I actually thought. So that's one. How would you walk and talk differently? That's an interesting question. Maybe making more eye contact, when you're walking outside, smiling to people. You notice that people just walk by each other nowadays, and Nobody looks at each other. Nobody addresses each other. So I would definitely be making more eye contact with people, smiling at people. My brother Joey is great at this. He talks to every person on the sidewalk, so much so that it's annoying. And I've kind of stopped doing that. And I want to be more friendly, I think, is the point. How would you play, work, and perform differently in a world, again, where you had unlimited confidence? I would be able to engage more and follow up with people and probably be more interested in others rather than interested in the results for just me. And I know that the people that I respect the most are definitely more interested in other people's goals. And you can see that in great leadership. You can see that in people that you just admire. It's like, what do you admire about them? Well, maybe they're successful, but they bring people along with them. So I would do more of that. How would you treat others differently? Friends, relatives, partners, parents. I would be better at celebrating the successes of others and less quick to judge the motives of others. I think maybe I need to cut people a break a little bit more and just allow them to be themselves. Anyway, that's how I would treat others differently. Next question was, how would you treat yourself differently? I would use much less negative self-talk. I'm always experiencing negative self-talk. I'd like to lower the volume on that at minimum. And I would most likely not seek so much outside approval. This is something that I don't always realize I do it, but oftentimes I'll go, what did you think of this? And what did you think of that? And there's definitely a place for feedback, but sometimes I wonder, especially when I know something was done well, am I just really looking for the approval? I think I'm just wired that way, and I wouldn't have chosen to be like that, but I would like to change that about myself. I think there's a lot of self-judgment out there. I don't think I'm the only one. You know, I'll be the first person to tell somebody, hey, put the hammer down, you know, stop beating yourself up. So I would definitely treat myself better in that way. And I hope you're doing the same thing. You're saying, okay, I'm just not watching this guy embarrass himself on camera right now. But like, I think a lot of us could treat ourselves better in our own self-talk. Okay, I got to break into this video for a minute because I was expecting this to be like 6 minutes long. But obviously, as you start to dig into some of these activities and exercises, you realize there's a lot more to it than just looking at your goals for 3 to 5 seconds. So, you know, what ends up happening is in the activity, you start to take a look at what are the things you'd like to be able to do more of. And then after that, you do a goal setting part, which is the next part of this video. Here are the goals that I'll work for in 2024. Number 1, I want to launch a YouTube course by February of 2024. Number 2, I want to leave the country for 4 months, and I'd like to make that happen by February 15th, or maybe the latest March 1st. Number 3, I want to lower my body fat to 10% at some point in my 50s, so I think I'm going to try that this next year. Number 4, I want to unlock a scalable virtual revenue stream that nets me over 10K per month, with little to no manual labor monthly on my part. So doing the upfront work, you know, I want to create a scalable business that gives me that freedom of time and place. And again, I want to do that mainly because I know it's achievable nowadays, and I believe there's a lot of other people in my age bracket that want to learn to do the same thing. So it's almost like I want to do that just so I can share it with other people, to help other people to get to their goals. Yeah, so all that came from reading the book, The Confidence Gap. I'm about 60% the way through the book. I've been taking the activities, doing the exercises, so I'll give you an update on that. But a lot of stuff in this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, let me know in the comments. It's obviously a change from the way I've been making videos in the past. I've been obviously scripting everything, teleprompting everything, you know, making sure it was all buttoned up. But just wanted to maybe try something a little different in this one. I know that I tried something different in taking the activities, and I feel like it really served me. So anyway, if you like this video, hit a thumbs up, subscribe. You know what to do. See you in the next one.